Last week, Nebraska Extension Cropping Systems educator Strahinja Stepanovic shared information about pulse crops. This week, we continue to learn more about the benefits of pulse crops with Shannah Plehal from Great Northern Ag. According to Shannah, education is the key, and it's important to be aware of how pulse crops can change the dynamics of the soil. We talked with Shannah at the Nebraska Extension Wheat and Pulse Crop Field Day to discuss the possibilities of pulse crops in western Nebraska.
I guess our biggest thing when coming here, obviously this isn't really a pulse growing region at this point. So a lot of it at this point is just education to the grower on what types of markets are on this side of the state, you know, what the pulse crops can do in their rotations and for their soils. It not being very popular on this side of the state, I think it's really important that they just at least get a baseline on, does it make sense to grow this? Can we market it? You know, is it going to be a good thing for us or not?
Yeah, one of the things that we talked about when we were doing our little tour was that it's hard to convince some growers to make that change. And particularly, you were talking about South Dakota, that they're having a lot of success and they like what they're doing. But it seems like life is going to be changing down the road, and that education is really critical.
You know, where we come from, or like here, it's a corn, soybean, wheat rotation. You get a lot of just chemicals that growers use over and over and over again because they're in the same rotations. And I think that just incorporating pulse crops into their rotations could really change, you know, the dynamic of their soils, and maybe, I mean, even give them some more opportunity as the markets continue to change with the pulse crops and come further east, because right now they're just kind of more in the western part of the state.
Yeah, talking to some of the farmers on the way out, I said, so are you thinking about planting some peas now? And he said, boy, you know, I wish I could, I just don't know where.
Right, yeah, I would say, you know, the biggest thing is talk to their local agronomists. And I mean, maybe even some of the agronomists here aren't privy just because they have been in the corn, wheat, soybean rotation so much, but like the guys at the research center and those kind of people, talk to them and see how can we start to incorporate it, even if it's just a small amount of acreage into their farm, and just see if it's something that'll work for them.
What are kinds of things you say to them to try to at least get them thinking about this?
I just think what's important is, you know, talking to growers about how their operations are working right now. I mean, if, like I said, if something's working for them, or if their whole operation is just great and they're happy with it, why would they want to change? That just doesn't make any sense. But if there's something that they want to change, or a piece of land that's not quite working for, you know, their corn, soybean, wheat rotation, maybe we can incorporate some of these pulse crops in and, you know, help them be successful in what they're doing. Yeah, I guess just, I mean, if they're looking for a change, we're happy to help them.